Okay, so we've taken care of the design of every page that warrants a bit of a design decision and actually has the main functionality. We will quickly add terms and conditions and privacy policy at the end. They're very little pages. They're very simple. We also need to take care of the functionality, so just loose ends, making sure all the buttons go somewhere, that they link to where they're meant to link. Don't know if that made sense grammatically or anything else. And then we also need to make sure that the site is mobile responsive, which is very easy to do with Elementor, and we'll save that for the end. The next thing we want to quickly do is sort out the header and a bit of content on the footer. So let's move on to that. So I'll sling my face down to the right again, and we simply need to go to customize from any page. It doesn't really matter. We're just going to have a look at the header options. So we've opened up the theme customization page, and notice that we're on desktop, but we've got the tablet menu there. So we do need to zoom out. So get to 80%. And this is more of a desktop view, which is very lovely indeed. Okay, so we go along to the header here, and you can see obviously this represents all of the header. So we've got the logo there. We could chuck it in the middle. That's not a bad option. It does look very nice, but I'm going to leave it on the left. And then we've got the menu and the search. So we don't actually have much need for the search. This is not a big, complicated website. And it's it's more hassle than it's worth. There are only a few pages and they're very simple. But we do need this menu, obviously. The other thing we want to sort out is the logo. So we have the header here, and you'll see that it has a top row, main row, and a bottom row. And so we could put something on the top row just by drag and drop, and then you see we've got two layers there. If we were to say we do want the search, we put that on the bottom row, and you see that we've got 3 different rows. Now, obviously, it's there to use if you need it, but for right now, it's nice and clean and simple. We're going to use 1 row. So we have the logo and the menu, and what we're going to do is click on the logo, and it gives us all of our logo options, which would include the actual selecting the logo. Now I uploaded this earlier on, and so I'm going to click on the blue Rebecca logo, and there it is. It's appeared there. It's wonderful. So we can change the height here. I don't recall what it was, but I'll leave it at 50. That's quite nice. And you'll notice that we've got the site title here. So we just want to toggle that to be off in most cases. And then you've got things like content alignment and stuff, but you're not really going to see that do much. You could change margin and things like that, but this is standard and it looks great. Okay, the other thing we'd want to change is the menu. So we click over here, and you can see that we can select the menu. We've only got a primary menu at the moment, but I will select that to define it. And then again, you just play around with the options and see what's there, see what suits you, see what you're happy with for your business and what image you want to give off. I generally like it to be quite simple. We have item spacing here, which would increase the space between the menu items. And then we've got stretch menu, and again, just play with all of these things and make decisions that suit you. Drop down options here, we don't have anything that's dropped down, but I encourage you to have a play with it. It's not very difficult to get the hang of, but learn by doing. And if we nip into design, we'll see things about the font, such as the size, which is great. I would say we want that to be a bit bigger, especially for a simple site like this. Just very friendly. Big and bold and happy. Okay, so I might bring the bold down a little bit, so make it semi-bold. Oh, well, that didn't do anything. I actually quite like it like that. I think that looks fine. We might want a bit of a hover over that image. It's meant to be going purple, but I'm not really seeing it. If I do that, you'll see. So we've got the active color, which is the color it is when you're on that page, and then we have the hover color, and again, just play with them. I think just to be a bit demonstrative. I can't do it. Nope, I can't do it. I'm gonna leave it like that. That for the hover and that for the active. Okay, Right, I'm quite happy with that as a header. Now I'm going to go along to the main row here, and so clicking on this settings button here, and you've got some options here about designing the main row. So we could decrease the height, which I think looks quite good. I'm going to go with 75. And then we've got design. So we've got the background. You can change the color, which often can look really, really great. Now I've got a white menu. I've got a white logo uploaded onto the site. So the white logo here and then white text would look fantastic. It would look really great. So yeah, I'd encourage you to think about those options. Probably, as you might expect, my favorite is the shadow, and I quite like that. I think it's just very subtle and very clean, and it adds a bit of depth to the design. So yeah, have a play with that and see how you feel. I'm going to publish this before I have a power cut and lose what I've done. Now let's have a quick look at tablet and mobile header. So I've just clicked here onto the tablet, and if we click on that, we see it's not very in keeping with our design. It doesn't suit, but this is just the default, so we can change that. So let's click on mobile menu, and then click. We see here we've got mobile menu. We can select which menu displays. Now in some cases you might really want to create a menu just for the mobile with different mobile menu items. In this case we don't need to, but you would create that menu, add the items, and then you could select it here. And then we go along to design, and we're able to change the font and the color. So again, this is all the active, and I'm going to change the background color to be a bit lighter. So I'm going to want this to be the gray color from our theme. You might want to add an items divider, so it would look something like that. But I'm going to go for none. But again, have a little bit of a play with all of that and to see what you like. Vertical spacing, however, I'm quite a fan of that. So I'm going to increase that to 14. I'm going to publish that. And then going back down to the mobile menu and clicking on the settings here, and then going to design, we're able to change the panel background. So click on that and make it what you want to make it. I quite like that. You could go for the full white. Perhaps that looks quite nice as well. I'm going to go for that one. I think that looks nice. Okay, the last thing to do is the close button icon, and we'd want to click a color that contrasts with the panel, just so people see where to click on it to close it down. And you can complicate it if you want. You can add a different background, but you'd have to sort that out. I'm going to go with the simple one because I tend to like very clean and relaxed design. Have a play with all of this. Obviously the modal will just open it up full screen. The side panel is quite preferred by a lot of people. Revealing from the left and the right is completely up to you. Just do think about how people use the mobile menus on their mobile and how that might affect how they're clicking. It's usually to be accessible with the thumb. Most people are right-handed and holding their phone in their right hand. You can change the horizontal and the vertical alignment. So yeah, play with that, see how you feel, but that's the experience of the menu as defined in the theme customization options. Okay, I'm going to publish that. I'm quite happy. And on my channel, you'll find a bit more information about other header settings, such as creating a transparent header, and things like when you scroll, the header would appear and follow you down the page. That's not for this video, but all of those options are available with the Blocksy theme, especially with the Blocksy companion installed. Right, I don't want to yap on too much, but you've all done very, very well with all of this information. I'm going to close that up. Let's take a quick look around our website on the desktop view. Okay, so we have a lovely hero image that looks really nice, and a book now button. We have some information about Rebecca and some intro information about the different services, and the buttons would link through. And then we have some testimonials for social proof, whoop whoop, and a nice little form just to grab them at the end. If we go to the services page, we have some very simple title information there, and all of this is laid out very well. I'm very happy with this. This is particularly great for a service page. It just gives very fast, clear information, and it kind of flows down the page. That's really nice. And then we've got a book now, which would be linked to by the buttons. Going up to the contact page, again, it's really nice and simple and functional, and takes us to what we need it to do, which is a contact form. Okay, so our last little task is to run around and make sure that it's mobile responsive.
Hey there, it's Chris here. Thanks for watching the video. Please do like and subscribe and share and comment if you haven't yet, and I'll see you in the next course of video.